The show was over. The final note of the encore had faded. The pyrotechnics had exploded one last time. The lights were coming up. June 27, 1999. Seoul Olympic Stadium, South Korea. Michael Jackson, 40 years old, had taken his final bow. 65,000 people were screaming for more, but the house music was starting. The crew was breaking down equipment. This was it. Show over. Tour over. Michael walked toward the wings, his body on autopilot, exhausted, ready to collapse. 5 steps from the wings. 4 steps. 3 steps. Then something made him stop. Not a sound, just instinct, the feeling of unfinished business. Michael turned around. The show was over. 65,000 people were cheering, but the lights were coming up. Michael Jackson was 5 steps from leaving the stage, 5 steps from ending the tour, from finishing. But something made him stop, turn around, walk back to center stage. Not planned, not rehearsed, just the pull of something unfinished. And when he reached the mic and looked at section 127, row 18, seat 4, he saw a woman holding a sign in English. Thank you for 1983, Naomi. And Michael's breath caught, because 1983 was the height, and Naomi was a journalist who'd love him and walked away when he asked her to choose. Michael walked back to center stage. The crowd erupted, thinking he was coming back for another song. The crew looked confused. What is he doing? Michael picked up the mic. Wait, please, just wait. The house music cut. The crowd went silent. I need to see something. Section 127, row 18. There's a sign. Can the cameras show me section 127? The camera operator scrambled, confused, but they panned to section 127, row 18, seat 4. A woman, late 30s, Asian American, professional clothing, blazer over a simple shirt, not dressed for a concert, holding a handwritten sign on cardboard. Thank you for 1983, Naomi. She wasn't screaming, just holding it, like she made it on a whim and didn't expect anyone to see it. But now Michael was seeing it. From Michael's perspective, older, professional, but the face was unmistakable. Naomi Sato, his girlfriend. 1983. 3 months during Thriller, the journalist who'd interviewed him for Rolling Stone and fell in love with the person behind the phenomenon, the woman who'd said no when he asked her to quit journalism, the woman he'd spent 16 years trying to forget. Michael into the mic. Naomi Sato, is that you? On the screen, the woman nodded. One hand came to her mouth. Section 127, row 18, seat 4. Please stay. Security, please bring her backstage. 65,000 people were confused and electrified. From Naomi's perspective, she didn't want to come tonight. She was in Seoul covering the Asian financial crisis for the New York Times. But she'd seen that Michael was performing. Final show. Something pulled at her. She'd bought a ticket. Section 127. Upper tier. She'd made the sign in her hotel room. On a whim. Thank you for 1983, Naomi. She'd thought, he'll never see it. 65,000 people. But the show had ended, and she'd been holding the sign. And then Michael had stopped walking off stage, turned around, come back, and called her name. 16 years earlier, August 1983, Los Angeles. Michael Jackson, 25 years old, was at the absolute peak of fame, the biggest star in history. Rolling Stone wanted cover story. In death, Naomi Sato, 23 years old, junior writer at Rolling Stone, Japanese-American, Stanford grad, fought hard to be taken seriously, got assigned the Michael Jackson story because senior writers thought it was fluff. Naomi saw it as an opportunity to prove herself. First interview, August 15, 1983. Naomi arrived with questions, serious questions, about his creative process, his influences, his artistic vision. Michael had been shocked. You actually want to talk about the music? That's why I'm here. I want to understand how you made it. What made Naomi different? She treated him like an artist, not a phenomenon. You're the first journalist who's asked me about the actual work. Michael said, most journalists don't care about the work. They care about the spectacle. And you don't. I care about both. But the work is what lasts. August-October 1983. 3 months of interviews. Naomi spent time with Michael for the Rolling Stone piece. Hours of conversations. Studio sessions. She saw the perfectionism, the vulnerability, the loneliness. Don't you ever get to just be Michael? She asked. Not really. Everyone wants Michael Jackson. No one wants Michael. I want Michael. And somewhere in those 3 months, they fell in love. September 1983. The relationship became something more. They kept it secret. Naomi knew the ethical implications. Journalists dating her subject. But she couldn't help it. October 1983. The article was published. Fair, balanced, insightful. Naomi had maintained her journalistic integrity. But Rolling Stone wanted follow-up. I can't, Naomi said. There's a conflict of interest now. What conflict? Michael and I are seeing each other. November 1983. The conversation that ended everything. Michael asked Naomi to quit Rolling Stone, join his team full-time. That way there's no conflict. You can be with me without ethical issues. Naomi had looked at him. Michael, I can't quit journalism. Why not? I'm offering you a job. It's not about the pay. It's about my career. I've worked too hard to become a serious journalist, to become Michael Jackson's girlfriend. You wouldn't be just my girlfriend. Yes, I would. That's how everyone would see me. The choice Naomi made. If you're enjoying this story, please subscribe to support the channel. I'm saying no. I can't quit my career to be with you. So I have to choose. And I'm choosing my career. Why? Because I fought too hard to get here. And if I give it up for a relationship, I'll resent you. And I resent myself. November 18th, 1983. They broke up, clean, professional. Naomi walked away. What Michael never knew. Naomi spent 16 years regretting it. November 1983 to January 1984. Naomi threw herself into work. She took assignments no one else wanted. Conflict zones. Dangerous stories. She saw Michael on TV. Everywhere. She told herself, I made the right choice. But she didn't believe it. 1984 to 1990. Naomi became a war correspondent. Bosnia, Rwanda, Chechnya, the most dangerous assignments. Why do you keep taking these risks? Because this is what matters. Real journalism. But the truth was, danger felt better than safety. Because safety reminded her of Michael. 1991 to 1999, Naomi built a reputation. Acclaimed war correspondent, multiple awards, respected bylines. She never married, dated occasionally, never seriously. You're married to your work, her colleague said. But the truth was, she was still in love with a man from 1983. June 1999, Naomi was in Seoul, covering the Asian financial crisis. She saw posters, Michael Jackson, History World Tour, final show. Her instinct, don't go. It's been 16 years. But something pulled at her. June 27th, 1999. Naomi bought a ticket. Section 127. Upper tier. She made a sign in her hotel room. Cardboard. Marker. Thank you for 1983, Naomi. She thought, he'll never see it. But maybe I need to say thank you anyway. Now, June 27th, 1999, Naomi sat in section 127, holding the sign. And Michael Jackson had just turned around and called her name. The house lights were still up. The crew was frozen. Security was climbing towards section 127. Michael was standing center stage, waiting. I'm sorry, he said to the crowd. The show is over. But I need to talk to someone. Someone from 1983. Someone I thought I'd lost. 65,000 people were silent now. Security reached row 18. Ma'am, Mr. Jackson has requested to see you. Naomi was shaking. Yes. She stood, still holding the sign. Michael watching on the screens. Naomi, I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm so glad you came. Please, come backstage. Naomi was escorted through the crowd. When she reached the stage barrier, Michael walked to the edge, got on his knees. Naomi. Hi, Michael. 16 years in 2 words. You made a sign. I didn't think you'd see it. How could I not? 1983 was. He stopped. It was everything. Michael to security. Please bring her backstage. He stood, looked at 65,000 people. Thank you for tonight. This tour has been, his voice cracked. This has been the end of something, and maybe the beginning of something else. He walked off stage. The crowd erupted. 11:58 p.m. Michael's dressing room. 11 minutes later, Naomi Sato stood alone, still holding her sign, facing Michael for the first time in 16 years. Naomi, Michael whispered. Hi, Michael. You're in Seoul. You're covering something. The financial crisis. For the Times. You became a war correspondent. I followed your work. Naomi's eyes widened. You follow my work? Of course. Every byline. I'd read your articles and think, she's brilliant. She chose right. Did I? Why did you come tonight? After 16 years? I saw you were performing. I thought maybe I needed to say thank you for 1983. For 3 months when I was completely happy. 3 months. Then I asked you to choose. And you chose journalism. Yes. And you became one of the best war correspondents in the world. Naomi sat. Is it what I wanted? Or is it what I convinced myself I wanted after I walked away from you? Michael sat beside her. What do you mean? I've spent 16 years covering wars. Bosnia, Rwanda, Chechnya, Iraq, the most dangerous assignments. And everyone asks, why do you keep taking these risks? And I say, because these stories matter. Don't they matter? Yes, but that's not why I take them. I take them because danger feels better than safety. Because safety reminds me of you. And I couldn't handle that reminder. I chose my career over you. And I built exactly the career I said I wanted. And I've been miserable for 16 years. Michael stood, paced. You're saying you regret it. I'm saying I don't know if I chose journalism. Or if I chose fear. Fear of losing myself. Fear of becoming Michael Jackson's girlfriend. Those weren't the only options. Weren't they? If I'd stayed, how long before I was just an accessory? Just a woman who gave up her dreams. I never would have let that happen. You wouldn't have been able to stop it. Women who love famous men either become invisible or become famous for loving famous men. Neither option lets them be themselves. Michael sat again. So there was no way for us to be together and for you to keep your career. In 1983? No. And now, in 1999. Naomi looked at him. I don't know. Are you asking? Do you still love me? Silence. Yes. God help me. Yes. I've loved you for 16 years. Through every war zone. I've been in love with you. Then why the sign? Why thank you? Why not I'm sorry or I miss you? Because I thought you'd moved on. I thought saying thank you was safe. Michael, honest. I haven't moved on. I got married, divorced, tried to find what I had with you. Never did. Why not? Because you were the only person who loved me for my work. And when you left, I lost that. Naomi stood. Michael, I'm 39. You're 40. We're not the same people. I know. I still have a career. I'm still a journalist. I can't give that up. I'm not asking you to. If we try this again, what does it look like? I don't know. But I know I don't want to spend another 16 years wondering. What if we could build something where you don't have to choose? How? You keep being a journalist. I keep being Michael Jackson. But we figure out how to be together without either of us disappearing. That's not an answer. That's a hope. It's all I have, but it's more than I had 16 years ago. I'm not asking you to quit anything. I'm asking if you'll try. Naomi looked at him. I leave for Iraq next month. 6 months in bed. Then I'll wait. And when you come back, we'll figure out the next step. And if it doesn't work, then at least we'll know. We won't spend the rest of our lives wondering. July 1999 to January 2000. They tried long distance. Naomi went to Iraq. Michael called every night, sent letters. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. February 2000. Naomi returned from Iraq. Michael was at LAX waiting. How was it? Horrible. Necessary. Important. Did you get your story? I got my story. I'm proud of you. 2000 to 2002, they built something new. Naomi kept her journalism career. Michael kept performing. They bought a house together. Private. The press found out. The tabloids were cruel, but they faced it together. 2003, Naomi won a Pulitzer for her Iraq coverage. Michael was there, applauding. Aren't you worried about being known as Michael Jackson's girlfriend? I'm known as a Pulitzer Prize winner. 2005, they got married. Quietly, just family. Naomi didn't give up her name. Naomi Sato, journalist. Michael didn't ask her to. June 27, 1999, 11:59 p.m., Seoul Olympic Stadium. Before leaving, Michael returned to the stage one final time. I'm sorry, Michael said. I know the show ended, but I needed to come back. Because tonight, I saw someone I thought I'd lost 16 years ago. Someone who chose her career over me. And I spent 16 years thinking that meant she didn't love me. The crowd was silent, but she did love me. She just loved herself too, and she was brave enough to choose herself. And I'm grateful, because she became exactly what she was meant to be. And maybe now we can figure out how to be together without either of us disappearing. He looked toward the wings where Naomi watched. This is for Naomi. For choosing yourself in 1983. For building the career you dreamed of. For never giving up who you were. And for making a sign that said, thank you. Years later, Michael kept Naomi's cardboard sign in a frame. Below it, in their handwriting, you were about to leave the stage, but you turned around. Because some choices deserve second chances. Because choosing yourself doesn't mean giving up love. We found it. M&N. He was about to leave the stage. Michael Jackson turned around. Not because the show wasn't over, but because in section 127, someone was holding a sign that said, thank you for 1983. The year when a journalist named Naomi loved him and chose her career. 16 years of wondering what if. 16 years of covering wars to avoid remembering safety. And then one cardboard sign that made Michael turn around. Walk back. Say her name. Because some people are meant to get second chances. Not because the first choice was wrong. But because both people had to become who they were meant to be before they could be together. Naomi became a Pulitzer Prize winner. Michael became weathered enough to understand that love doesn't require sacrifice. And when they found each other again, neither had to disappear. If you like this story, please subscribe to support this channel.